is a lot right now. Are you feeling it? We all need new tools to help us walk through the chaos with grace, ease, and compassion for each other and for ourselves. In this podcast, you'll hear from parents, educators, and other experts who can bring perspective to the monumental job of parenting. It's time to level up and be warriors for our kids and our communities. This is the Warrior Parent Podcast. I'm Marci Mitchell.
And I'm Debbie DiManno. As parents, we understand that it really does take a village to raise our kids. We hope that this podcast serves to create and support that community for you. Join us as we discuss and practice our core tools, which are proven mind-body techniques that can be used by anyone to improve your life on a daily basis.
All right. Well, welcome back to the Warrior Parent Podcast. We are doing a special two-part episode this week. So you get an extra treat of 2 episodes with the amazing Shani Bahar Azulay. And I'm going to read her introduction again. Hopefully you listened to the first part. If you haven't, I would go back and listen to that first and then come back and listen to this one. But in Shani's own words, and just to let you know, she's a 25-year-old woman living in Israel. And she just told us that she just learned English 4 months ago, which is blowing Debbie and my mind because her English is excellent. But keep that in mind as you listen to the episode. But this is a little bit about Shani in her own words. I was born remembering. I remembered what happened to me before I was born. I know how to bring information into the world easily, and I have the ability to know what lessons the soul of every person standing in front of me wants them to learn, and what is the mission for which they were sent to the world. So we're going to have the second part of this fascinating discussion with Shani. So welcome back, Shani. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
It's my pleasure to be here again.
So I just wanted to put something out there for those of you who have been listening going, okay, how does this apply to warrior parents and all that? You know, Marci and I talk a lot about, the physical, the emotional, and we haven't talked a lot about the spiritual component. You know, we know that to be a parent, it's super important to do this work. We always call it an inside job, right? But we believe that spirituality is a huge part of that, and that's why we're just enjoying our time with Shani so much. So anyway, so last week we talked to Shani. She made these soul maps for Marci and I. And then she actually made one. It was a surprise. She made one for Marci and I together. So we're going to dig into those a little bit today. So hopefully you're going to pull this up on somewhere where you can visualize this, because these soul maps are outrageously beautiful. So without further ado, Shani, take it away.
Wow. I believe that your soul map is not depend the future, because the soul map change. What you decide to do, what you decide to choose and change your soul map, and the sign that you can see in the map is the vibration of the change. What is the gaps between the old and the new decision? This is the way to draw these symbols. And I believe this is also the symbols about the relationship between parents and children, because many parents try to take a control, and many children try to make him lose their control. I was a children like this. And
weren't we all?
That's your job as a child. You're supposed to push them.
Push, yes.
It's so
push and test.
This is the job, but because the relationship between the souls of the children and the souls of the parents is the opposite of this job. Because if the children chose these parents as a souls, he believes that these parents have a materials that the soul's journey of the children is not included in this part of life in the next life parts, and so on. And if you can take the materials of the parents, you can see this is the needs of the children. What the children need, the parents have, and what the parents need, the children have.
I love
This is
that.
the first collaboration.
Yes, we show up to teach each other, to be there for each other, to learn from, but also to teach in the, like you say, the symbiotic relationship of giving and receiving in that flow. That's beautiful.
And the chaos enter when we forgot it. Because if I forgot it and I say my children doesn't have what I want, and my children doesn't have what I think that he needs, I start to try to control him.
Yes.
But the first agreement was I have, you have, I need, and you need, and this equal collaboration.
That is so beautiful that's this agreement that I'm going to give to you and I'm going to receive from you, and same thing on both sides. What a beautiful philosophy. What a beautiful way to look at it. And like you said, then the chaos comes when we don't honor our agreement and we start to try to control or
It reminds me, we just had a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and Marci, you have to refresh my memory, but she had a child who was autistic, I believe, really acting out, really, really angry, physically hurting her and other people. And she, at some point after several years, knowing that this was not the right thing to do to try and control the child, was to just show him love. Whenever he would start to get violent or hurtful, she would just show love, as difficult as it was. And it completely changed everything. It changed everything, right? And so that's exactly what you were saying, right? And so for those of us, or for those listening who can't really understand that, like, oh, just need to, strap these kids down and, do harmful things and whatever people are doing around their kids, right? It is what they need to learn for themselves as well. And that displayed it so beautifully. Exactly what you said. Wow.
Yeah. It's the end of that idea of that power over, as Brene Brown always puts it. Like it's not a power over situation where you're on top of someone else trying to control what they do. And it's not just parent child, that's the world. And we're seeing that, how destructive that power over paradigm is versus a more collaborative giving, taking in flow, not like I'm in charge and you do what I say, but like you have something to give me and I have something to give you. And how can we have this relationship that is in flow of giving and receiving?
I totally agree with you, because what you say is an authentic hierarchical. Because if you have a true collaboration, I can trust to my parents that if I will not understand what happened, he wants a lot, for me. He loves me like I love myself. And this trust can make us more authentic in our life lesson, because if I have a trust, I call it in my job the other eye. My parents is the other eye. I have my eye and I have my parents' eye. And
other eye, your parents are the other eye. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Like an additional set of eyes for you.
Yes.
Yes.
And a capacity of abilities that my soul doesn't believe that I can include in my soul's journey, he put in my parents. And I must have to happy that if I don't have ability to do something and my parents have, I I do it this negotiation with my mother if I afraid for something. Until today, I'm doing a lectures 8 years, and until today, I afraid, and I call my mother and say, "Give me your courage to talk to the audience."
Beautiful. That's just beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, shall I bring up these? We started yesterday with Debbie's, her soul map, or you call it a seal, that you create these beautiful images. And you talked a little bit about that. I've got the one that you did for me, and I also have the one you did for both of us. So shall I bring one of those up and you can talk a little bit about it?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So I'm going to bring the one that you did for me up. If you are just listening, I would encourage you to go to YouTube where we're going to have these displayed, and hopefully we can display it even in the as an attachment in the audio files for this episode, so you can see what it is that Shani is going to talk about. So, Shani, go ahead and tell us what does all this mean,
I
or,
must have to say before that I
yeah.
call it still because it's appear here. When I copy it, I can see this energy here and here.
And so if you're
And this
not
is
able to
like a
see,
still.
yes,
Yes.
she's reaching to her forehead. Some people will call it where the third eye is, and then also to the top of your head, the crown of your head, that's where you see these images. That's how you generate them.
Okay, let's start with your reading. Okay, so I want to remind people that they didn't listen in the last episode. I start with the center, with
Mhm.
the circle gold in the center. This
Mhm.
is body, and after that we have the first body. Many people called it aura or something like that. This is the way to know that you have here 298 life parts in the fire world, not here in the earth.
Oh,
So your soul born in the fire world.
wow.
Earth, for example, is a ground world. This is the reason of the materialistic and the limitation. But fire world is a very fast world. They research thing according to the fast, according to the somewhere. It's so intensive to describe it because many souls don't have enough courage to be there. The main character of this world that if you don't finish lesson and you have a blockage or something like that,
Mhm.
you need to start all your life in from the start. You cannot continue your life.
Mm.
This is the reason that souls that came from this world have a lot of self-discipline. They know that if you have a blockage, you need to start all from the start. And after that, this earth is like, I like to translate this word like hotel. After you do it fast in the fire world, you come here to the slow world for hotel to calm. And after and your souls chose it because if you see the second body, you can see four parts here. These
Okay.
four parts is a symbol of four elements that you brought from the fire world
Mm.
to realize it here in this world. The first one in the left,
Is that
if
up
you can
here?
see. Yes,
Okay.
this one, this is a symbol of healing. In the right, you can see the symbol of teaching.
Okay.
In the second line, you can see in the right one
This one.
the the symbol of parenting, and
Mm.
the left one is the symbol of your authentic part. In fireworks, they use in the number four elements, four part of collaboration to describe what is the vision of the soul, what, and it doesn't matter which word it will be. So this is the symbol of your vision that you brought from the fireworks to this world to help you to know and remember the four main values in your vision:
Mm.
healing, teaching, parenting, and authentic part. And all these parts uh, realize in the third body. You can see the third body here in the left corner. Yes,
Here?
Okay.
Okay.
yes. In the left corner, you can see the protection. The protection is the main rule of the fire world that people can have. You have a family source here. You have 455 people that came with you. Big family.
Oh, I love that.
And
She,
and the protection part the protection part, this is a symbol of protection part. This is the key of remembering. If you can take this part, this is the reason it's in the seal. If you can take this part and enter it to the center, in a day that this movement will happen, this will be the day you will remember who you are. This is a specific seal in the seal that symbol the protection of the firewall. Inside it, you can see the signature of your soul.
All right, what is that? Is that this?
No, the left one.
This?
Yes.
Or this? This.
Yes,
okay.
This. The signature of your soul, this is the end of the seal. You can see what is the end of the rule that your soul decided, I want to stop with the firewall and come to this earth. I have a healing. Fire can be hot also, and I have a healing that will change the temperature between fear to love. Fear to love, if I can out the part of emotional, it's a temperature. It's a change, a chemical change between cold and hot. And if you make your fear hot, without part of emotional, you can change the fear to love. And this is the main rule of your soul in the soul's world. Because you know to do a welcome with souls from the water and earth and even skyward, and change their temperature to the love, fast, fear, authentic, doing without stopping, with many parts of practical. And after you come to the fourth body, this circle, the gold circle, the bright gold circle.
Yes, right here.
Yes.
Okay.
You can see what you must have to remember, because the fourth body, all the physical and 2 and 3 and 4 bodies, this is the part of remembrance. This is the part that you have a story about yourself. All these details here, you have a copy of story about yourself. If I can say you, like the dualistic investigation, if I can say you can do everything fast, you have a healing abilities with your mind. But if you try to heal from your heart, you judge it more in developed, but it's not more developed according to the world that you came from. But if you try to heal from your mind, your mind and your brain, like every areas of this world, change it and convert it to the problem, because what we think about like a problem and we try to solve it.
Right.
So how is it possible that the mind is the source of healing? And many kind of dualistic parts about what is the abilities of my soul and what I'm telling about myself, this is ability of my characters. And this is the main purpose of this life parts.
Wow.
Because you can take this dualistic and make it with infinite dimensions.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot, Marci. You got all that?
I know. I love that. I love that. It's beautiful.
I can continue many hours. But
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We will do
Yeah.
that later because I do want to hear more. But
Yeah.
let's see if I can switch through. Tell me if this changed.
Yep.
Okay.
We can see
All
it.
right. So this is the one you created for me and Deb. And Debbie and I have been on a journey for how long, Deb?
Probably many
Yeah, but
lifetimes actually now that
in
that
this
we're
one at
thinking
least
about it.
8 years. So I'm excited to hear a little bit about what you did with this one or about what we're doing.
If I may, you and Debbie in the journey before you decided to come to this earth.
Okay.
We must have.
Yes.
We must have. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. I think what happens as humans is that we really don't have the language for so much of what
Yeah.
goes on in the other worlds, right? And so it's difficult to wrap your head around these things, infinity or infinity, right? For
Hmm.
example, like numbers, like we all get wrapped around the wheel of all those
Right.
things, which are limiting beliefs, as we talked about before. So it's hard to get your brain to think in this way. But tell us a little bit more about Marci and my journey. And I want to be ask you something. So you mentioned that these pieces are ever changing. So if we came back to you a year ago or a year from now, would these images show up differently or no? Yes.
I don't know because
Oh,
many people try to do it. When I explore it, I'm trying to explore and put the proofs from the science world. Some people get back to me after 10 years
uh-huh.
and they still like looks like same.
It does.
Wow.
So it
Interesting.
depends of the development.
Right.
Oh, where we are
Right. That
in
makes sense.
our
Your
own
development.
development. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So tell us more.
So I must have to refer to what you said before, because you said we are limited about our belief system,
Yeah.
and I must have to cancel this. Sorry, because because if you say that you limit, you decided that you limit, whatever that your soul try to enter to your bodies will be limited. I heard many people that limited by their need of belong or to be belong to something,
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm.
and their soul talk with them a lot, and all the content that their soul try to enter, I don't know how to call it. It's a content with belong needs, and content
Belonging.
and
Like a
belong needs.
community.
Yes, it's combined,
Yes.
and it's not the original knowledge from your soul. So to be depend on your belief system makes your souls hard work, because she tried to say something and you
Mm.
say enter this filter and enter this filter and enter this, and in the end you can speak with me. I know that most of the people believe that we're limited by our belief system,
Mm-hmm.
but the first thing that I say to people, please cancel it, because your belief system is not your soul's language. Your
Mm.
souls don't speak with
Interesting.
you, specific with you, Debbie, from the light words. Your soul don't speak to you according to your belief system. She know that your belief system are not belong to you.
Mm. Wow. Okay. So
It's complicated.
it is
It's
complicated because,
complicated.
yeah.
This is
Okay.
our job here, no, to ask questions.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
know what? Can't the way you said that, the cancel that thought, that is something we talk about is, let's have a bigger understanding of things. Let's not limit. But it kind of sounds like you're saying even when we do limit ourselves, our soul knows better. And I think that's grace sometimes. That idea that you can say something negative about yourself, but your soul knows better, and that there's grace in that. We get grace for when we don't.
I think the part of the limit, the belief limitation, is the source know better. And
Souls
the
know
source
better.
and the source
Woo!
left from
That's
us
good news.
according
Yes.
to
Thank God.
Yes.
very good.
Or thank my soul or whoever
Yes.
we're thinking in this
The soul
moment.
knows better. That's
Yes.
beautiful.
I know, I know the both of your rules, and I know when you started to see this beautiful knowledge, you will not need to limit yourself according the belief system, the
Mhm.
lake, the all the problems that our mind makes us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't need to be grounded in this way. And when I say cancel, Debbie,
Yes.
I meant that I saw in your eyes that you really don't believe it. You must have to believe it.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So, s- so, so tell us about Marci and I. So tell us about this image that we're seeing of Marci and I. For those of you who can't see it, there's a big white hole in the middle of of the image.
Circle, yes.
I'm not sure what that is.
The opposite is so interesting because you saw hole and I saw a lot of light.
Mm.
So the collaboration seals, the collaboration seal structure is a little bit different because
Okay.
you can see Debbie part in the outside and Mercy part in the inside. And you can see the symbol of meeting according, I try to draw it. I draw it in a computer, in the iPad. I try to do it like a symbol because the tree and the wave and so on, this is the
Yeah.
place of collaboration.
Mm.
The element of water and the element of earth. It means the start of this collaboration is in the middle. You can you can meet each other in the water, in the emotional part, in the empathy part, and you can realize it according to the earth element. You have
Okay.
a
That's
scale
all
of
of these. That's all of
this.
these symbols.
This is the scale that I can close when I put your seal together. If you collaborate something, you active inside your bodies the element of water and earth, the practical and the emotional part. And
Oh, okay.
these symbols, you can see that you have one emotional part and a lot of practical part.
Is this
The
emotional
three,
here?
uh, this emotional, the wave part,
The wave. Okay.
yes. And you can see one wave and three elements of earth. I mean,
Yeah.
it starts with wave, but a lot of practical the trees investigation is telepathic. So the communication that you can and you will improve it to communicate each other according to your source abilities, life lessons, and so on. And in the end, you have a mountain, and the mountain investigation is to be hierarchical without cancel each other.
To be, what was the first word you said?
Hierarchical.
Well, I don't know what that means.
Practical? No?
Yes,
Oh, practical. Okay.
yes. To be
With
practical without cancel each other
okay,
because
okay.
your abilities complete each other. Like a
Oh,
mountain. The mountain complete the hole in the earth. This
yeah.
Oh,
is the main on investigation. And when you complete all the elements, you can see the two symbols in the middle of the seal.
these?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This, this and this, and you can see the structure, the lines of the brain part, according the source can see from their perspective. Their perspective is a place that source can see all what we are doing here in the earth, and you can is your brain, Debbie,
Mm-hmm.
and Mercy is a left one, and
Okay.
you can see the connection between two minds for healing collaboration and in the healing here and specific with you came from the brain. You can see him they're meeting inside in the what you called hall and I called light.
Okay.
Eco light. Yeah. Well, it's bright. It's bright white for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
And this light broke the dualistic. And also the earth, you can see all of this happen in the earth. all of what happened here in the earth, the change of investigation is to break the dualistic and uh, realize the creation from infinity. Don't depend ourselves from material. And if you can see the two Brians here, the healing that they make in same scale, you can see the change of investigation, the materials of infinity that you create in all.
Is that this? These? Is that what you're
This is
talking?
the line. This is the line to ground it.
This.
Yes. This is
Okay.
the line to ground it, the energy in the middle that you can make, and how to ground it between the earth and the water elements.
Mm.
How to ground it for people together uh, with their emotion and with their practical needs, but don't give up on the creation from infinity.
Wow.
That
Okay.
sounds like the work of core experience to me.
Yeah. We're not giving up. We're just not giving up.
And this healing and the bringing the practical or the tools to the emotional to uplift, like it all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful image too.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Oh
I
my
can
goodness.
continue many hours. I have a lot of
Oh
We're going to
wow.
stay on after and hear some more, but I'm going to go
Yes,
ahead and
yes. Yeah.
stop sharing that. God, it's so pretty.
Oh my goodness. Shani, you are such a gift to the world.
It's
Thank you.
wonderful that we met you. We're so grateful.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm pretty sure you learned English just so we could have these conversations in the last 4 months.
That's remarkable to me. Like I say, after 4 years of Spanish in high school, I definitely was not nearly as
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
speak it.
yes.
I would love to share with people if people are seeing these images and saying, "Man, I want to have that done. I want one of those." How would people go about that? Having
People,
you do this for them.
people can enter on my website. They can get a quiz about their problem, what specific kind of issues they want to solve, and they invite from my website.
Okay, and we're going to put the website in our show notes so that you can access it and learn more about Shani. And if listen to the first episode too, because she talked more about the great work that she's doing as a leader in her generation in finding ways to show up in the world in a more loving, collaborative way versus this old paradigm that we're releasing, which is beautiful. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, dear.
And now for a moment about meditation and how it can help you and your family to self-regulate and mindfully return to a place of calm and centeredness. Our Core Tools platform consists of a number of proven tools and techniques that are designed to reduce stress, anxiety, and overwhelm in spite of what's going on in your world. Meditation is just one of these powerful tools. And through a special partnership with Donna Appadoni, we have created a group of meditations available only on our platform and via Donna's own website. Here's Donna.
Zebras. Zebras in the dark. It was a photograph I saw on BBC from Africa. 3 zebras crossing a road at night, lit only by auto headlights, one in each direction. Hi, I'm Donna Appadoni, and I'm the person who writes and produces meditations that are used by Cour Experience. This meditation is about a picture I saw online. It was a picture taken of a zebra in the middle of the night. It made me wonder how many other animals and things are out there in the dark. And by that, I mean when we're not seeing the light. How many things are there around us that we just don't see because we're living in the darkness? This meditation reminds us that when we shine a light on everything around us, we can see more clearly. And then all of a sudden, we can see things that we didn't see before. And nothing is as scary when you have a light on it. Remember, whatever's going on with you right now, you can do anything you set your mind to do. What have I not seen because I am in the dark? What internal headlight in my spiritual toolbox can help me to see? In addition to the predators who lurk in the darkness, there are beautiful creatures. Creatures of every stripe. I want to see them.
Donna's book, called Drive Time Meditations, is a collection of 183 of her purpose-driven motivators. Drive Time Meditations is available on Amazon.
Thank you for listening to the Warrior Parent Podcast. You can find us at courexperience.org. Make sure you join us next week for another informative conversation to help you and your family show up mindfully, purposefully, and joyfully with each other and in your community.
Our meditation segment is produced by Donna Appadone with music from Scott Holmes. The full collection of meditations is in Donna's book, Drive Time Meditations, available on Amazon and at donnaappadone.com. Thanks to Samuel Hale, LLC, for sponsoring this podcast. Technical and marketing support comes from Inspire Your Brand. Our podcast editor is Justin Beeden. Opinions expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect those of the hosts, producers, or financial supporters. I'm Debbie DiManno.
And I'm Marci Mitchell. The Warrior Parent Podcast is a production of Cour Experience. If you resonate with the idea of creating a community to help support kids and families, won't you join us by following the podcast and sharing this episode? You can even write a review. It truly does take a village, and we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to the Warrior Parent Podcast, produced by Cour Experience. That's our nonprofit, and I would like to tell you about something big that's coming up for us. May 2nd, 2024 is the big day of giving in the greater Sacramento area. This is a day for nonprofits to fundraise and really strive to meet their annual goals. And for the first time, Cour Experience will be participating in this big event. I want to tell you a little bit about our nonprofit, Cour Experience, and our Cour Tools app, which brings non-clinical modalities that are scientifically proven to decrease stress and anxiety to your home. They are appropriate for kids, for teens, for young adults, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, anyone who wants to lower their stress and anxiety. And our tools include heart-brain coherence, EFT tapping, meditation, yoga, bilateral tapping, art expression, nutrition, hydration, sleep protocols, and journaling. And there are more on the app. You can find out more at courexperience.org. On the big day of giving, if you would like to support our vision of a calmer, more centered world with less anxiety, depression, and suicidality, please give to Cour Experience on the big day of giving, May 2nd, or any day. You can go to our show notes or our website for a link and more information on how to give. We really believe in a world that has less anxiety, less stress, less suicidality, where people can show up as their authentic selves, in joy and purpose, and living their vision. We appreciate your help in getting us there. Thank you from Cour Experience and the Warrior Parent Podcast.